ever feel like you're just skimming the surface of your relationships? Like you want to dive deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
How to build those really meaningful connections. And the stuff we're looking at today is really good. Like seriously worth your time.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So there's this relationship guide I was reading,
Okay.
and it's not just the usual stuff, the stuff everyone says.
Right.
This is like deep.
Yeah.
One of the things that really hit me was like how much it talked about vulnerability.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, vulnerability, we hear that all the time, but
Mm.
this guide actually explains why it's so important for getting those really close connections.
It is, and I think vulnerability is one of those words that gets tossed around, kind of gets misused.
Mm-hmm.
People think it means like oversharing or something.
Yeah, or like weakness.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not about that. Vulnerability, it's really more about, you know, choosing to be authentic
Right.
in a way that hopefully brings you closer to people. I mean, think about it. You can't really be close to someone if you don't let them see the real you,
Right.
like flaws and all.
Okay, so like picture this. It's a first date. It's awkward, obviously. But then you finally confess your biggest fear. Spiders.
Spiders, yeah, I guess.
Right. And like that might seem totally random,
Mm-hmm.
but being that honest, being that open, it probably connects you way more than like hours of small talk.
100%. It's about those little moments of real connection.
Yeah.
And the guide, it talks about this idea of sharing inner thoughts.
Okay.
But it's not just like whatever pops into your head.
Right. Not just random stuff.
Exactly. It's about letting someone see your real inner world, your fears, your dreams, all that, the things you don't tell just anyone.
Yeah.
And when you take that risk, when you share that stuff, you're basically saying, I trust you enough to see this part of me. And that's huge.
And that kind of leads into the next thing, right? Quality time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which this guide is big on that too.
For sure.
But it's not just about being in the same room, is it?
Definitely not. Just
Yeah.
like sitting there on your phones while Netflix is on. Come on, that's not going to cut it.
Nope.
It's more about, those shared experiences, the stuff that gets you actually interacting, actually being vulnerable. So, I don't know, cooking together, maybe. Taking a class for something you both always wanted to try.
Fun.
Yeah. Or even just having a real conversation.
Oh, yeah. Phones away, totally present.
Exactly. Giving each other your full attention.
100%.
Mm,
It's got to be intentional.
yeah.
Intentional together time. So speaking of intention, there's this other part in the guide. It's about emotional support. Like really showing up for the people you care about. And not just like saying the right words, but actually like doing something.
For sure. And yeah, it's more than just saying, I'm here for you. It's about really listening,
Yeah.
hearing what they're saying and how they're feeling.
Totally.
And not trying to fix it or judge them, just being there.
Validating.
Yes. Validation, making them feel safe enough to be vulnerable with you because
Yeah.
they know you're not going to freak out or make them feel bad. You're just going to be understanding.
Yes. It's about feeling truly seen, truly heard, which, I don't know, it's like a basic human need.
Totally.
And when that happens, when you really feel like someone gets you, man, that connection, it's powerful.
For sure.
So we've got vulnerability, quality time, emotional support. We're covering so much good stuff here. But if we're talking about building those deep connections, those really meaningful ones, what's the common thread? Like what ties it all together?
Well, when you get down to it, I think it's all about creating that safe space for a real authentic connection. When both people feel like they can be themselves
Mm-hmm.
without judgment,
Totally.
where they can be vulnerable, they can be honest and know the other person is right there with them. That's when the magic happens.
I like that.
And it made me realize, this guide was all about romantic relationships. But these ideas, they apply to every kind of relationship, don't they?
So true.
Friendships, family, even at work. It's all about connection.
That's a really good point. It makes you think, right? Like, what if we put in the effort to go deeper with everyone important to us? It'd be work, sure, but can you imagine how rewarding that would be?
Totally worth it.
So much good stuff to think about today.